Nets. He's been out all season rehabbing. But Richard, what if KD had just sat out that game and the rest of the finals? Would he still even be in net? Would we have not gotten to a game 6 where Clay got hurt? What do you think?
Honestly, I have no idea. No one knows. I love playing the hypothetical games. I think his time was over in Golden State. I think he knew that. I think that was part of the reason why he wanted to come back. He wanted to finish what he started, which would have been 3 straight championships, and I believe that they would have done it if not for the injury. But ultimately, I think he was going to end up someplace else, whether he was injured or not, whether he won a championship or not. So was it going to end up in Brooklyn? Let's say hypothetically, yes.
Janae?
Yeah, I would say I think nothing changes. 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs. I myself have suffered an Achilles injury, and I love playing the game of what if, could I, would have it worked out? But ultimately, I think he did what he wanted to do. He won at a high level. He was a champion at the highest level, finals MVP, as I mentioned. So I think he would have still ended up in Brooklyn. I'm not probably going to read too much into this. I think it was a valid championship for Toronto, but you know, I agree. The cards, yeah, it was a valid championship for Toronto, so I think everything happened for a reason, and he has a nice new home in BK.
I definitely agree on Toronto. The only question I guess I have is there was so much going on last season, right, about is he really part of the team or not, and how much did they, quote, really need him or not? If he misses the whole finals, if they do still lose to the Raptors, as I think they would that have changed the dynamic, the feeling both inside the locker room and among the fan base that, hey, we really did need KD in a way that people were questioning the entire previous season before? I don't know if that would have changed his mind or not. We will never know. All right, guys. Last night, we were treated to a video of Ja Morant throwing down. This was an absurd windmill alley-oop during a pickup game. His head was above the rim during the wind-up. Chinny, do you think that Ja has Rookie of the Year all locked up at this point? What do you think?
I think it is likely that Ja Morant will win Rookie of the Year. 17 and I think like 7, and what he's been able to do for Memphis, we did not count them in at all. And now the rest of the, the second half of the season, which we're so lucky to have, we're like, wow, they're likely to be in the playoffs. Like, this is great. So that was the best case outcome for him. My question mark is Zion Williamson. When will the voting take place? Because if he comes back, they've had 2 different timelines, but when they both started, they were killing in the league. So if Zion comes back, makes an impact, we get to the playoffs, we haven't voted yet, and the Pelicans are on a roll, which means it's a lot of adversity what they'd have to overcome from the standings. And if Zion really does it, I think the narrative can be a little dicey. I still